We know that magic is forbidden in the Abrahamic faiths. During Babylon, God sent 2 angels to test humanity. And they taught man at the price of selling the hereafter. Because he says, we taught man that which they should not learn. But if they were willing to trade their eternity for it, they were given knowledge that could be used to cause divorce and do all kinds of other crazy shit. And the occult is all about that, bro. It goes back to the time of Solomon. He found out what was going on. They were making manuscripts. He rounded up all the manuscripts, and supposedly, legend has it, he buried under what is today the Temple Mount. And when the Knights of Templar came, supposedly they found those manuscripts, which gave them the knowledge that they have to create everything that we have today. The banking system, everything came from that, supposedly. Again, this is, what I'm studying and what people believe, scholars of history and theology.
Right.
But it all goes back to Solomon, bro. Peace be upon him, one of the most important prophets to ever live. He had dominion over the dimension of light and the dimension of darkness. If you're suffering from the things I explained, research the evil eye. All you need is water that is charged with the words of God to cleanse yourself, make intention, pray to God directly. You can remove it from you by his grace. There's shit that goes on that most of us don't understand. Haunted houses, this, that. There is another world that is alive on this planet in a different dimension. I believe human beings have gotten to the point where not only do they work with them, they worship these beings. I believe the ancient Egyptians used to worship them. That's maybe how they built those pyramids. Solomon used them. And I believe that they figured a way to come into this dimension, and they still have their powers when they do. So you're going to see aliens, folks. But it ain't aliens. It's demons here to convince you that God doesn't exist. If we see them. We might not. But if that happens, I promise you it ain't the aliens you're seeing in movies.
We'll see. We'll see if this podcast stands the test of time. Hopefully we'll learn something soon.
Hopefully we both...
That's what the guy's saying in that Grush guy. He's saying that there's bodies that are recovered by the government with these crafts that they're finding.
Hopefully...
I wonder what those bodies are.
Hopefully we're not in orange jumpsuits, me and you, and chained.
BEK, thank you so much, man. You're always blowing my fucking mind with this shit. Tell people where they can follow you, where they can listen to your podcast, all that stuff. Your podcast is fucking amazing, by the way. Especially, I was telling you this morning, I loved your podcast with Eric Zuliger. That was
seriously?
That was incredible, man.
Bro, I try to be like you, man. You're doing what I hope to get to, but I think I'm going a little bit more like just general conversations now. I am bringing in guests. I rebranded just the BEK Lover. The BEK Lover podcast. It was BEK Lover and the Comeback Team, but if they just type in B like boy, E like Edward, K like Kimberly, BEK Lover, it all pops up. BEKLover.com. If you want to watch my episodes, they're on YouTube or any platform you can download a podcast on. But I am going to start doing a lot more of this stuff and talking about current events and not just interviews, because I think then I think people like you really need to just we have such interesting perspectives. You're phenomenal with the way you've read a lot, I can tell, bro. Like, you read all kinds of stuff, which is amazing, which makes you a really great host. Like I've told you, I've been hosting a lot of shows, and you're definitely my favorite, bro.
I appreciate it.
You let me talk, which I've been guilty of. My people want to kill me. Like, shut the fuck up, let the guest talk. Like, you're phenomenal at that, and you don't disrupt, because I've learned with time too, like, let the discourse go. Let the guest, because you don't know where it's going to go, and you might fuck it up at the right, at the wrong moment.
Right.
But, yeah, man. I'm wishing you great luck. The Danny Jones podcast,
yeah,
AKA
that's the new name.
Concrete. You've done phenomenal work. Thank you for letting me come on here. We broke the internet last time, bro. And I hope that if anything comes out of this episode, people just maybe get something that they didn't know, or maybe can look into something that really has impacted our world, whether you believe in God or not. These guys are saying they believe in other beings, right? These guys influence people that make policy. Some of the heads of the military were under these guys. Go read about Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
Because BEK Lover says, and I don't know if that's the camera, we are the aliens.
You heard it here, folks. Get your sage, get your dream catchers, get your fucking holy water. Good night, folks.